NRAP stands for?
Knowledge Networking for Rural Development in
Yeah.
Asia Pacific region.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration of International Fund for Agriculture Development and International Development Research Center of Canada. And essentially the idea is how poverty knowledge that is generated at the field level through various efforts, but in this case mostly through IFAD's poverty alleviation programs in Asia Pacific, how that can be shared better, faster, to actually improve the performance of these poverty alleviation efforts.
So at the ground level, could you give us some example of how it works itself out? Like,
See, the idea, essentially, like I said, the idea was to improve knowledge sharing. And improve knowledge sharing means looking at what knowledge already exists, what knowledge is being generated, what knowledge is being made available from outside, and how it interplays. We are definitely not talking here of a one-way flow of knowledge. We are talking of how practitioners' knowledge can actually help other practitioners' performance actually, and how that can be validated, and how it can rural knowledge systems themselves can become very energized to support the development objectives in these areas.
it's being built up as a database, as a communication system. What?
Yeah, there is a focus on information communication technology, but the focus is entirely to see how platforms can be provided for
Like what?
information to. So, I mean, it could be anything that people choose to work with. So yes, we introduced people, especially the IFAD projects and their partners, their NGO partners, to say new tools like Skype or blogging or
I see.
mailing lists, or all these, whatever is coming up. So our role, I would say, in this was very much towards just introducing them to new tools and new platforms. But I think the major effort was to see how knowledge is valued, how networks are valued, whether networks are important to share knowledge, how does that affect development.
When it
So
comes to the poor, what are the main needs of information that they have today?
poor have all kinds of needs. I mean, they probably are doing the best with whatever
Little.
information they have. Which doesn't mean that they are at the optimal level of whatever they are trying to do, whether economically or otherwise. They also have education needs, they also have health needs. So there is all kinds of information needs they have, and they also need the
Entertainment.
ability to inform others
Inform others.
of what they want or what they already have. Scientists might be working on something they know better about already. So what is the point?
Any entertainment needs that? Yeah,
Of course, I mean, they have all needs, they have all kinds of needs, and for us, all kinds of needs are important. For IFAD, because their entry points are in agriculture, they work on microfinance, they like to do gender mainstreaming, those are their entry points. But for information, certainly, we did not go with the idea that we are only going to help provide agriculture information. That was not the idea. The idea was to demonstrate the value of knowledge and to demonstrate the value of sharing that knowledge.
I see. Shalini, you mentioned something about ICT for rural livelihoods.
Okay, yeah. One particular thing that we did do was that, given the sort of exploding telecommunications that we are faced with as a society, millions of mobile phones being added, things like that, what we felt was required was to actually create evidence for how ICTs and in what ways can help the rural population. I mean, do they really help? There is an opportunity here. We know there are lots of mobile phones. We know there is internet access. But how can we actually, poverty alleviation efforts, can they ride this, somehow? So we did some research across Asia, built some evidence, which is, very rigorous research, to see, how it can be done. And some of those relate to, say, providing appropriate information to farmers at the right time, providing information on employment opportunities for migratory populations, which are among the poorest. Even among the poorer people, they are the at the bottom sort of rung. People who need to migrate, don't have land, landless laborers. So there is a wide variety of things that we did. We also evaluated some of the government programs, like in the Philippines and in China, which are aimed at looking at rural poor populations, to tell them how they could be improved.
And IDIC has this strong research orientation.
Yes, it does.
So with all the research that you will come out, is there some mechanism that public can access it, or?
All our research is freely available. We also push it through our networks, through the partners that we work with. One of the things that we did with the ICT for Rural Livelihood Research is the the selection of partners who do actually do the research then, because they are the most important medium in actually making sure that the research is either upscaled or goes to people who can actually use it. So from the very beginning, even at the time of design of research, I think this is a very important thing that we have to keep in our mind, have to justify how this is related to policy or how this will be, this can affect people. It is definitely not on the shelf kind of research that we do.
Thank you.